Hello, my name is Yesenia Vantelina. I am from RPL 11. Today I want to present my presentation about Biography of Ada Lovelace. The story of her childhood. Lord Byron expected his child to be a glorious boy, and was disappointed when Lady Byron gave birth to a girl. The child was named after Byron's half-sister, Augusta Link, and was called Ada by Byron himself on 16 January 1816. At Lord Byron's command, Lady Byron left for her parents' home at Kirkby Mallory, taking their 5-week-old daughter with her, although English law at the time granted full custody of children to the father in case of separation. Lord Byron made no attempt to claim his parental right, but did request that his sister keep him informed of Ada's welfare. Ada Byron, age 4. On 21 April, Lord Byron signed the deed of separation, although very reluctantly, and left England for good a few days later. Aside from an acrimonious separation, Lady Byron continued throughout her life to make allegations about her husband's immoral behavior. This set of events made Lovelace infamous in Victorian society. Ada did not have a relationship with her father. He died in 1824 when she was 8 years old. Her mother was the only significant parental figure in her life. Lovelace was not shown the family portrait of her father until her 20th birthday. Lovelace did not have a close relationship with her mother. She was often left in the care of her maternal grandmother Judith Hunt, Lady Milbank, who doted on her. However, because of societal attitude of the time, which favored the husband in any separation, with the welfare in any child acting as mitigation, Lady Byron had to present herself as a loving mother to the rest of society. This included writing anxious letters to Lady Milbank about her daughter's welfare, with a cover note saying to retain the letters in case he had to use them to show maternal concern. In one letter to Lady Milbank, she refers to her daughter as it. "I told to it for your satisfaction, not my own, and shall be very glad when you have it under your own." Lady Byron had her teenager daughter watched by close friends for any sign of moral deviation. Lovelace dubbed these observers the Furies, and later complained their exaggerated and invented story about her. Lovelace was often ill, beginning in early childhood. At the age of 8, she experienced headache that obscured her vision. In June 1829, she was paralyzed after a bout of measles. She was subjected to continuous bed rest for nearly a year, something which may have attended her period of disability. By 1831, she was able to walk with crutches. Despite the illness, she developed her mathematical and technological skill. When Ada was 12 years old, this future Lady Fairy, as Charles Babbage affectionately called her, decided she wanted to fly. Ada Byron went about the project methodically, thoughtfully, with imagination and passion. Her first step in February 1828 was to construct wings. She investigated different material and size. She considered various material for the wings: paper, oil silk, wires, and feathers. She examined the anatomy of birds to determine the right proportion between the wings and the body. She decided to write a book, Flyology, illustrating with plates some of her findings. She decided what equipment she would need, for example a compass, to cut across the country by the most direct route, so that she could surmount mountains, rivers, and valleys. Her final step was to integrate steam with the art of flying. Ada Byron had an affair with a tutor in early 1833. She tried to elope with him after she was caught, but the tutor, a relative, recognized her and contacted her mother. Lady Byron and her friends covered the incidents up to prevent a public scandal. Lovelace never met her young half-sister, Allegra, the daughter of Lord Byron and Clary Claremont. Allegra died in 1822 at the age of 5. Lovelace did have some contact with Elizabeth Medora Lake, the daughter of Byron's half-sister Augusta Lake, who purposely avoided Lovelace as much as possible when introduced at court. In adult years of Ada Lovelace, became close friends with her tutor Mary Somerville, who introduced her to Charles Babbage in 1833. She had a strong respect and affection for Somerville, and they corresponded for many years. Other acquaintances include the scientist Andrew Cross, Sir David Brewster, Charles Wheatstone, Michael Faraday, and the author is Charles Dickens. She was present at court at the age of 17 and became a popular belle of the season, in part because of her brilliant mind. By 1834, Ada was a regular at court and started attending various events. She danced often and was able to charm many people, and was described by most people as being dainty. Although down Hope House, Byron's friend described her as a large, coarse, skinned young woman, but with something of my friend's feature, particularly the mouth. This description followed their meeting on 24 February 1834, in which Ada made it clear to Hobhouse that she did not like him, probably due to her mother's influence, which led her to dislike all of her father's friends. This first impression was not to last, and they later become friends. On 8 July 1835, she married William, 8th Baron King, become Lady King. They had 3 homes: Oakham Park, Surrey, a Scotch estate on Loch Starion in Rosehill, and a house in London. They spent their honeymoon at Worthy Manor in Astley Combe near Parkway, Somerset. The manor had been built as a hunting lodge in 1799 and was improved by King in preparation for their honeymoon. It later became their summer retreat and was further improved during this time. From 1845, the family main house was Horsley Towers, built in the Tudor Britain fashion by the architect of Houses of Parliament, Charles Barry, and later greatly enlarged to Lovelace on design. They had 3 children: Byron, born 1836, Anne Isabella, called Annabella, born 1837, and Ralph Gordon, born in 1839. Immediately after the birth of Annabella, Lady King experienced of the tedious and severe illness, which took a month to cure. Ada was descendant of 16th Baron Lovelace, and in 1838 her husband was made heir of Lovelace and Viscount Oakham, meaning Ada became the Countess of Lovelace. In 1843 until 44, Ada's mother assigned William Benjamin Carpenter to teach Ada children and to act as a moral instructor for Ada. He quickly fell for her and encouraged her to express an effusate affection, claiming that his marriage meant he would never act in an unbecoming manner. When it became clear that Carpenter was trying to start an affair and cut it off. In 1841, Lovelace and Medora Link, or the daughter of Lord Byron's half-sister Augusta Link, were told by Ada's mother that Ada's father was also Medora's father. On 27 February 8041, Ada wrote to her mother, "I am not in the least astonished. In fact, you merely confirmed what I have for years and years felt scarcely a doubt about, but should have considered it most improper in me to hint to you that in any way suspect She did not blame the incestuous relationship on Byron, but instead blamed Auguste Lake. I fear she is more inherently weak than he ever was. In the 1840, Ada filtered with scandal. Firstly, from a relaxed approach to extramarital relationship with men, leading to a rumors of affairs, and secondly, from her love of gambling. She apparently lost more than €3,000 on the horse during the later 1840. The gambling led to her forming a syndicate with male friends. An ambitious attempt in 1851 to create a mathematical model for successful large bet. This went disastrously wrong, leaving her thousands of pounds in debt to the syndicate, forcing her to admit it all to her husband. She had a showy relationship with Andrew Crowe's son John from 1844 onwards. John Crowe destroyed most of their correspondence after her death as a part of a legal agreement. She bequeathed him the only heirlooms her father had personally left to her. During her final illness, she would panic at the idea of younger Crows being kept from visiting her. Education. From 1832, when she was 17, her mathematical abilities began to emerge, and her interest in mathematics dominated the majority of her adult life. Her mother's obsession with rooting out any of the insanity of which she accused Byron was one of the reasons that Ada was taught mathematics from an early age. She was prayerfully educated in mathematics and science by William Franz, William King, and Mary Somerville. The notes 19th century research and scientific author. In the 1840, the mathematician Augustus de Morgan extended her much help in her mathematical studies, including studies of advanced calculus topics including the numbers of Bernoulli, that formed her celebrated algorithm from Babbage analytical engine. In a letter to Lady Byron, de Morgan suggests that Ada's skill in mathematics might lead her to become an original mathematical investigator, perhaps of first-rate eminence. Lovelace often questioned basic assumptions throughout the integrating poetry and science, Wesley studying differential calculus. She writes to the De Morgan, I may remark that the curious transformation many formula can undergo, the unsuspected and to be a beginner, apparently impossible identity of forms exceedingly dissimilar at the first sight. is, I think, one of chief difficult in the early parts of mathematical study. I am often reminded of certain spirits and fairies one reads of, who are one elbows in one shape now, and the next minute of a form most dissimilarly. Lovelace believed that intuition and imagination were critical to effectively applying mathematical and scientific concepts. She valued metaphysics as much as mathematics, viewing both as tools for exploring the unseen world around us. Ada Lovelace that painting of Ada Lovelace seated on at the piano by Henry Phillips. All took in great pain. The time she agreed to sit for the painting as her father, Lord Byron, had been painted by Philip's father, Thomas Phillip. Lovelace died at the age of 36 on 27 November 1852 from uterine cancer. The illness lasted several months, in which time Annabella took command over whom Ada saw and excluded all of her friends and confidants. Under her mom influence, Ada had a religious transformation and was coached into repenting of her previous conduct and making Annabella her executor. She lost contact with her husband after confessing something to him on 30 August, which caused him to abandon her bedside. It is not known what she told him. She was buried at her request, next to her father at Church of St. Mary Magdalene in Hacknell, Nottinghamshire. A memorial plaque written in Latin to her and her father is in the couple attached to Horsley Towers. So that's all my biography about Ada Lovelace. Thank you, Miss.